Welcome to Teaching Tuesday. I'm very glad everybody had a chance to come out tonight. This is a really important topic. Tonight we're going to tackle homelessness and how that fits in with the Poor People's Campaign. But that's not why we're here. The main reason we're here is to build a community. That's our objective of being here, is we all want to become a community again. It's been a while, right? We also want to call the evils out by name. We talk a lot about the evils in the Poor People's Campaign. What we're talking about is militarism, poverty, racism, and ecological devastation. They work together, along with the false moral narrative that help to keep our poor people oppressed and hurt our brothers and sisters for far too long. So we're working together, and we want to make this a very intentional space. This is not my program. This isn't Reverend Bell's program, although he wants to steal it from me. I'm just kidding. This is our program. We want to talk about poor people and what happens to poor people. Who knows more about what happens to poor people than poor people? Our objective is to have this space open for you. If you have something laying on your heart tonight and you want to come up and share it with us before we get started, it could be about homelessness, it could be about something else. If you feel the need right now to come up and speak, please feel free.
War is not an economical, it's not just economical. Poverty is not just physical, mental, or spiritual, but it's a collection of all of them, including what is part of our natural resources from the earth.
Absolutely.
So when you look at poverty, don't think it's just because an individual doesn't have the resources of economy, of money, doesn't necessarily make them poor. So it has many teeth. And that's why we want you to be able to, and even if you cannot stand before people and speak, you never even know that by the time I got to the age of 16, I was a huge stutterer. And it was very difficult for me to just talk. I had lisped real bad as a child. And so to even put a sentence together was a great effort for me. But
so with that in mind, one of the things I want us to think about while we're here is I don't want us to think of this as a safe place. This isn't a safe space. A safe space gives you the opportunity to get comfortable in your chains, and that's not what we want. We're here to break those chains and create our own narrative and our own story. So this is an empowering space. This gives you a space. If you haven't done this before, we're going to have a speaker later on who hasn't done this before, but we're going to be here as a community for her and hold her up while she tells us her experience, because that's part of what this is going to be all about. We also need to be assertive in knowing when to ask for our own needs to be met. One of the things we run into a lot with all of the different evils is trauma. When someone's been through trauma, even the noises of clapping can be very jarring and hard for them. And they may not feel very included in our space if we're out here making all that racket. So if you want to support our folks, which I certainly ask you to do, think about snapping instead of clapping, okay? We also need to be aware of our own healthy boundaries. If there's a topic that's too hard for you and you don't feel like you can stay in the room, please feel free to step out. No one here is going to judge you. That's not what we're here for. We're also not here for just this moment. We're here to build a movement. Our goal is for this to keep going. This isn't just about tonight or last week or next week. We're going to keep going. And one of the ways that we're going to do that is that we're going to have a sign-in sheet where I am asking you for your email address. And I'm just warning you now, I will use it. So please, give us your information, and there'll be one going around every which way here. There's also a line here that says photo release. If you do not want me to use your picture in any of our stuff, please come see me so I know who I'm not including in the picture. I noticed at our last event a couple people said no, but they didn't tell me who they are, so I hope I respected that. So please make sure I know if you don't want to be included, because again, I'm not here to disrespect your wishes. We also want you to support us at future events. We already have a couple more coming up. On February 5th, we're going to let Reverend Bell take us down memory lane and talk a little bit about what has racism meant in Elmira. What have we done to fight it? What have we not done so well? He's got some really great ideas. He knows so much about that topic. He's going to be able to help us out with that. He reminded me that I haven't been as good about calling that particular evil out. Unfortunately, I have a hard time with that one because I don't own it. But I definitely need to learn about it. So I'm very grateful that he is going to be here to help us through that. On the 19th, he's going to come back and talk about where are we now with race and how do we move forward. What can we do in Elmira to be a force, an unsettling force that will help to change this situation? Another way that you can help us out is we have a healthcare event coming up on February 13th. It's going to be a Wednesday at lunch hour. We're going to be over at the Holiday Inn. And we're going to be talking about the New York Health Act, because we also feel that universal health care is really important. If you can't get health care, then you're not going to be able to have a very effective life going on in this particular day and age. Also on Thursday nights, we have been asked to let folks know that the Program of Peace is over at the Monumental Baptist Church. And they're going to be having a free dinner, some more good opportunities to build community and conversation. We're also working with the Communication Workers of America. They're letting us know about some work that they're doing for healthcare workers in our area. As we all know, healthcare workers are notoriously overworked, underpaid, and have some pretty lousy working conditions. So one of the things that they're going to bring here in March is a program called Safe Staffing that will help us to understand what kind of legislation can help to change that. What can we do, again, what can we do to change things? We don't want to just come in here and say, oh, we went and saw a nice poor person and that was a nice thing we did tonight. We want to make some changes, and that's part of what that's all about. We also want you to share your own story. So like I said, if tonight's not your night, you don't feel like coming up, that's fine. Please reach out to one of us, and we'll be happy to see about getting you some space in the future if that's what you want to do. We also want you to buy some corn bags. We're doing a fundraiser. I've got a whole bunch of them out there in the other room. They are bandanas that are sewn up with corn inside. You can throw them in the microwave. They work kind of like heating pads. $10 a piece to support the Poor People's Campaign moving forward. Hopefully we might have some other ideas for some fundraisers coming up. So that's just a little bit about who we are,